Hello, I'm Jacob. I'm part of the Mazetools team. What I want to talk today about is the modules. So when you start Soniface, we'll come to this interface and give you the possibility to add different instrument modules or to go to options and just load a session. Or when you like to start a save as and type a new session. So check. And this is our new session. In this way you can also save a pattern and you can insert it in any other composition you did. You can also save and load mazes. So a maze is kind of a step between a single instrument and the pattern. So a maze includes several instruments. The Gridsynth, the key module, the sampler module, and the rhythm module. Every module have different submodules. The Gridsynth is the oldest module in this way in the software. It works kind of string instrument, like you can imagine that a grid line works like a string with a own tone. You can select these tones via the key interface. But I will come to this further. First, you can activate the Gridsynth with this wave controller. So the wave defines the Gridsynth volume and the angle defines the frequencies. You have different effects for this synthesizer. For example, the low pass, like you heard. And then you have the shape interface. In this interface, you can draw a curve and it influences directly the synthesis of the sound. You have the room controller, which is also in this interface. And the room is really important because it's the reverb, which can also influence other modules. But yeah, let's talk about this later. So here's the reverb volume, the radius, and the angle is the reverb length. You have some crazy effects in the physics interface. For example, the magnet. And you have the sequencer. So the sequencer have different notes. Now we hear nothing, and this is because the wave controller is off. And while the sequencer is active, the permanent Gridsynth sound, this drone, is off. I can turn it on again, tap on trigger. So now I can switch between the sequence and the permanent sound. There are different arpeggiators also, like the random arp. Or the butterfly arp. Maybe make it a bit faster. And like you already saw, I can draw a little curve for the amplitude. And the modulation refers to the filter, like this low pass. This is mainly all about the different submodules of the Gridsynth module. And like I already said, it's really close connected to the key interface. So let's turn on the sequence again, and I will now change the key. What you heard is the notes which the Gridsynth gets from the key interface. We have a different mode which came with the development of Mazetools Mutant. And there you have the kind of hyperphase. We call it hyperphase in Mazetools Mutant. In Soniface we call it now the live pad. And here you can see just the notes I selected in the key interface. So was C, F and G, and I have it here. And when you don't know anything about notation and stuff, you can just experiment, or you can go to the picker and then select a chord, like the C major chord. You can see you have a whole list of chords you can use, or you can also use a scale. We have different scales. Like here's a nice example. You see the chromatic scale. You need to know which keys work together, and for this you can just use a predefined chord or predefined scale. And the key interface, so I come now to the next module, takes also influence of the sampler and the bus of the rhythm interface. You can, of course, also use just a MIDI keyboard and select the keys with this interface, or We have included also this keyboard. I can also just make an own chord by selecting it manually. And this is about the key interface. You can support our work by buying our product, subscribing to our channel, or just following our streams. Thank you very much for watching. Bye!